Hi traders, hope you're doing well. Welcome to my video on the MACD and RSI EA. This is an expert advisor that I've developed for the MT4 MetaTrader 4 platform, which is free to download using the link in the description below. So help yourself to this EA and the many others that I have developed. You can use them without any limitations at all. In this video, I'm just going to run through the various EA settings and the ways in which you can implement it within your own trading strategy. So here you can see the MT4 trading platform. Okay, I've got a visual chart showing the EA in action with a backtest that I've just run. Okay, as I said, it uses the MACD and RSI indicator. Let's just plonk the RSI onto the chart as well. Okay, so if we go to the expert properties and just scroll down, you'll see here you have the MACD and the RSI. Okay, so it uses the MACD 0 line, which you can set to true or false, MACD trend, which you can set to true or false, and the RSI extreme, which you can set to true or false. And I'll just show you now on the chart what those settings will do. So the MACD 0 line, if that is set to true, the MACD here must be below the 0 line, which is there. Okay, for a sell trade, or it must be above the 0 line for a buy trade. Okay, MACD trend means that the MACD bars, the histogram here, should be above the signal line, the red line, for a buy trade, or below for a sell trade. And you can do them both. So if you had both the MACD 0 line and trend line set to true, price would have to be, for a buy trade, the bars would have to be above 0 and above the red line like they are here for a buy trade, or below 0 and below the red line for a sell trade as they are here. Okay, so that's the MACD aspects covered. And the RSI. So the RSI extreme, basically when the RSI is above the 70 level, is considered extremely overbought. And we might look to place a sell trade, for example here, when it's extremely overbought here, it would be a potential sell trade. Just as when it's extremely oversold, like it is here, we might start to look for a buy trade. Okay, so you can set that as well to true or false. You can also adjust the periods, so you might just want the RSI to be, say, more reactive. There you can see, if I just show you an example, let me just put that back on the default of 14. If we just look here, see the resistance we had here, this triple top formation, market making lower highs. It had this channel here, support, arguably goes all the way back to there. But support, strong support line there. Once that support line was tested, well, it was tested multiple times, but if we just zoom in, you can see lower highs here. Support is breached, then that support holds up as resistance. So this would have been a good sign to look to sell, whether that's on the pullback here to the resistance, or perhaps you were going to look for this breakout of this support line. Whoops. Let me just try and grab that for you. This support line here. Either way, it's a good opportunity to enter on a breakout of this channel here. If we zoom out, we can see we can get in on a trend nice and early. Or if you don't want to risk taking a fake out, you can wait for another pullback as we get there. And then enter either on the pullback, the market making these lower highs, or the breakout of the support. And in fact, that support line there becomes resistance. So ample opportunities to enter into this clear downtrend we have here. Right. Now, the MACD, this can help you for knowing when there is a trend, or just alerting you when there is a trend. If you're not at your chart and you're not able to check for this scenario, you can be alerted when the MACD crosses below the 0 line. Potential new trend happening, okay? Or continuation of an existing trend, like here, okay? Cross below the signal and below the 0 line. Obviously, you don't want to sell too low. You want to get in up here early somewhere. So the EA can alert you on that. And the RSI, so what I was mentioning with the RSI, we basically, let me just clear this up a bit because it's a bit cluttered. Once we know there's a downtrend, okay, the market's trending down, we're going to look to sell. Okay, so zoom out. We don't want to sell at the low, and we might not be able to time perfectly the initial breakout. So we want to try and get in on these pullbacks here. So the RSI with the default 14 period is not always going to pull back to the overbought area. However, if we set something more sensitive, like 7, we can identify pullbacks, 1 being there. Okay. And then the EA can alert us that there's been a pullback. We know that we're in a downtrend. And then we can just use that as the entry point and hop in on this trend for over 200 odd pips, you know, assuming we're going to get out once we see the price moving up here. You know, you can stay much longer and try to make a lot more, but the RSI can help us to find pullbacks. So another pullback there, okay, as a good entry into this trend. Arguably here, didn't quite reach it, but by the time we're here, you want to be thinking about it's still a decent trade with some momentum, but after seeing all this movement to the downside, I think we're a bit late to the party there, and I really want to get up around here somewhere. So that's how you can use the MACD and the RSI to help you find trends and time your entry. Okay, the MACD being below for a sell trend, being below the 0 line for sell trend, or above for a buy trend. Same with the red line. A crossover of the red line can be a good time to hop in on a down trend as well. Like, let's have a look for a, well, in fact, the crossover there, same just after the RSI. So the RSI was extreme, then the MACD crossed over, and it just confirmed that would have been extra confirmation for that particular entry there. Obviously, you have your lower highs as well, which is a good signal. And then, of course, that support level held up really well. Nice wedge formation and a breakout. Support becomes resistance. All the signs were there for potential sell trade. So the EA can send you alerts to when this happens, and it can take trades for you. So I'll just run through some of the settings now. So pop-up alerts, if that's set to true, you get a pop-up alert when there is a trading signal. This is good because you can track multiple charts at the same time. You might have like 10 charts open with different trading instruments, because you can use this with Forex, stocks, commodities, cryptos. You can use it on any instrument your broker provides, and any chart time frame. So you get a pop-up alert. For example, there's a sell trade on the euro dollar 1 hour chart, and you just flick over to that chart and you can act accordingly, whether that's to manage an existing position, place a new one, or just eyeball the market. Okay, email alerts and SMS alerts do the same thing. They just send it via email or SMS, which is handy if you're away from your platform. Perhaps you're out and about somewhere, and you've got your eye on a big downtrend, and you're just waiting for a pullback. So you want that RSI alert on the pullback, and you can be notified. And then launch MT4 and the MT4 app, or go to your computer and launch it from there, and then take action. Okay, or use trading, just set that to true, and the EA will do everything for you. It will place the order and can manage it based on your settings that you choose. You can have both as well, so you can have use trading set to true and an email alert set to true. So the trader we placed, you'll get an email notification, and then you can go and check the trade, and perhaps adjust the stop loss. You might just have an initial stop loss. We've got stop loss field here, initial stop loss of 50, but then you might get a notification, okay, the trade's been placed, and then see that, okay, well, the swing high or swing low is actually 25 pips away, so my stop loss could be half that, and just amend it. Okay, days filter is self-explanatory. Days of the week the EA can trade. Same with the hours filter. You can choose the start hour and end hour. Perhaps you want to trade a particular trading session where there's lots of liquidity on the currency pairs that you are trading. For example, if you are trading the euro dollar, you might want to trade when the London and New York sessions are open. But then if you're scalping the euro dollar, you might want to set it to trade during the Asian session. Buy and sell magic numbers. This is the order ID. which is handy if you are using other EAs on the same MT4 platform, just to make sure they don't clash with each other. Broker settings, maximum spread, maximum slippage. The EA will basically avoid trading if the spread or slippage is greater than these values. This is to prevent trading during unfavorable market conditions. Money management, open orders limit set to 1 by default. This means that the EA will allow a maximum of 1 open buy and or 1 open sell trade at any time. This is so that you don't end up with consecutive duplicated orders with similar entry points. Lots, okay, this is lot size, the position size, how many lots you would like to trade. Lots is only used if use risk is set to false. If you change this use risk to true, the EA will automatically calculate the lot size depending on the risk percent that you set here in this field. So if you set to 2, the EA will automatically calculate the lot size so that it's 2% risk of the account. Okay. Stop loss and take profit, self-explanatory. As I said, I would prefer to do my own stop loss on recent highs and lows. But it can be good to get an initial value if you're using the use trading feature. Take profit, I would leave at 0 myself. That's just because I'm going to take what the market is giving me. It might give me 300 pips. So I don't know why I'd have a fixed 100 pip take profit. For example, let's just say we took this breakout trade here. You got a nice M pattern formation. You've got the market making these lower highs here, breakout there, support becomes resistance. So say we had taken that trade, okay, 100 pip take profit would have been around here, would have been a great trade, we would have been happy. However, price fell almost 300 pips from there, so we left way too much on the table, which is why I don't like a fixed take profit. Instead, what I would do is use a trailing stop. So as price drops, just move the stop loss above the high, price continues to drop, stop loss above the high 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 above. Just lock in the trade as much as possible, maximize the move without exiting prematurely or too late. Okay, but you can use take profit, depends on your money management. If you do get taken out early, you can always re-enter. Just bear in mind, the more you re-enter, the higher your chances are of getting the entry wrong, and you don't want to end up selling at the low. You want to sell ideally earlier on, or in an uptrend, you want to buy near the low and not buy at the top. Buy low, sell high. Okay. Close opposite signal. The EA can close an open trade if there's a trade signal for the opposite direction, in which case it will be taking another trade in that direction as well. Break even, if you set this to true, once the price reaches this value in pips, so let's just say 50 pips, the EA will move the stop loss to break even, can prevent a winning trade from turning into a losing one. Trailing stop, if you set this to true, EA will trail the stop by this distance once the break-even point is reached, and every 50 pips it would move the trailing stop along with the price as well. So you don't just lock in a break-even, you can lock in a lot more. And you can also have a close percent, so this will close a percentage of the trade every time the break-even point, then the trailing gap point is reached. So you might want to close 20% of the position each time until the minimum lot to close is reached. So let's just say we're trading one standard lot here, minimum lot to close, let's say 0.2. The EA will keep closing 20% each time this distance is reached until there's only 0.2 lots left, in which instance it would just let that run. Okay, and you can, of course, set that minimum lot to close to 1, which in instance no part of the position will be closed, but the break-even and trailer stop will still work. Covered the indicators, the MACD, the 0 line, the trend line, and the RSI being extreme. Again, you can adjust the various settings. You can use combinations of them. You can use all of them. It's one or the other. It's up to you. Okay. This is a really flexible EA. It's just more suited to your trading style. I do have link in the description. There's an EA which uses nearly every indicator available in the MT4 trading platform. which you can set to true and false and adjust the various settings along with price action, candlestick patterns, money management, semi-automated, fully automated. It's got everything you need and it's completely free as well. Okay, so we'll do an optimization now. Basically, an optimization is when you give the MT4 strategy tester a combination of various settings to run through and give you the historical results using those settings. Okay, so you just check the checkbox of the settings you wish to optimize. So we'll start with stop loss. We'll start at 25. We'll step in 25 and we'll stop at 100. That means that strategy tester will test the stop loss at 25 pips, 50 pips, 75 pips, and 100 pips because we're going up in 25 increments, starting from 25 and stopping at 100. Take profit. We're going to start at 0. We're going to go up in 100 and stop at 300. Close opposite signal. We can optimize that true or false. So we'll check that. Break even, true or false. Break even point. Let's go 25 pips up in 25 increments. Stop at 100. Trailing stop, true or false. 25 up to 100. Close percent. You can close, let's say 25%, 25% up to 75%. I'm going to start at 0 on the close percent. Minimum lot to close, so 0, 0.25, and stop at 1. So everything we're selecting will be optimized, all the different possible combinations. Okay, MACD 0 line true or false, trend line true or false. RSI extreme true or false. We'll also do, we'll do the RSI period, so 7, 7, 14, I think is enough on that. MACD 12 will go up in 12. 26, 26. I think that will be plenty. 9, 9, 54. Okay, so click OK. Click optimization. Now what the strategy tester will run through all the different possible combinations. One thing I'll note first, there are a few things. Genetic algorithm here. If you have this selected, the MT4 strategy tester will not test every possible combination if it believes a certain combination won't give favorable results. If you uncheck it, it will do every single possible combination, which depending on how many you've selected, okay, and your computer speed can take a long time. But generally speaking, I leave this checked just because it's a lot faster and still filters out a lot of bad results, I find. Long and short, or long only, short only, and initial testing balance. Under the optimization tab, you can choose if you only want results that meet certain criteria. For example, maximal drawdown, you can change, okay, if you only want results that have a maximal drawdown of 10, I don't use that personally because I want to see all results to know what works and what doesn't. So click OK, click optimization, choose your time frame, your instrument. We use open prices because the indicator is coded within this EA. I've set to use the open and close prices, so that's fine. Bearing in mind, this is the fastest method, but it's also quite rough around the edges. When you do want to really fine tune and hone in on your settings, you want to switch to every tick just because it uses intra-bar prices, which can have an impact when it comes to stop loss, take profit, break even. Okay. And we're just doing the past 4 to 5 months. Spread current, we're using the current spread. Bearing in mind, if you're testing on the weekend, this will be higher than usual, so results may not be as accurate. And click start. Now the EA will run through all the different combinations. Go to optimization results and we'll see them starting to come through. So different stop loss, different take profit, true or false, different break even, all the different various combinations we can do. Okay, that's complete. And then we can just sort results by profit, by number of trades, by the profit factor, expected payoff or drawdown in monetary or percentage value. So let's just sort by profit. Okay, this is the top one. If you double click it, what that will do is that will load the settings for you into the EA settings. And you can save to use at a later date. And then just click load to load them on your charts. Okay. Optimization and check. Now we'll run a single test using these settings that we've chosen here. Have a look at the graph and it looks great. Okay, we've found some great settings. This is the best EA ever. Let's package it up and sell it. No, what we've done there is we've over optimized. We've curve fitted. Granted, you will find some good strategies, but in general, we're throwing as much what at the wall and hoping some of it sticks. Because you'll find that that has been optimized for that particular historical data, 4 to 5 months. Whereas if we go back 1 year, let's go back 2 years, 1, 2. Okay, we'll go back 2 years and we'll run the exact same settings. What happens? That. Okay, that doesn't look as good, nowhere near as good. And why is that? It's because we optimize from, I'm going to go on a limb and say around here somewhere. Here, yeah, somewhere between there and there, when it starts going up perfectly. Not perfectly, but a lot better than all this. And that's simply because we just over optimize for that particular data there. Okay, so you've got to be careful of that. I mean, the strategy tester is limited as it is. We don't need to make it even more unrealistic, I guess. I mean, what we were discussing at the beginning about just identifying support, resistance, direction of the trend, and just waiting for a pullback or a breakout. I mean, the EA can certainly help you find those areas, but you just need to put a bit of effort in, a bit of common sense, good money management, patience, discipline. You can create a solid winning strategy. Just don't expect to just optimize a bunch of random settings and have an EA that's going to do everything for you and you'll be a millionaire when you wake up in the morning. It doesn't work like that. Okay, that being said, we're running an optimization now over more data, because one may argue, well, you only optimized 3 to 4 months. Of course it wasn't a big enough data set, but in my opinion, you can go back 2 years, you can go back 5, you can go back 10, you can go back 20. You're still finding random combinations of settings that work over a particular data set. Probably won't, definitely, in my opinion, definitely won't work on other currency pairs or trading instruments or time frames, which for me show it's not a reliable strategy. It's just pure randomness. Okay, so let's just go to the top profit wise, double click that, run a test, and it looks okay, doesn't it? It looks all right, it looks good, but don't get your hopes up too much. Let's take it back another 4 years, yeah, and then run it. What happens? That we can more or less say that, is this when we did our optimization? Not far off. I mean, again, we it's not the worst in the world, but we over optimize for a particular data set. So don't look for miracles. You can use it as a tool to help you make your life easier. You don't have to scan 100 charts, because it can help you do that, just as the other free EAs I've developed can do as well. Hopefully you've found something useful in this video. As I said, you can use the EA as much as you like, any trading instrument, and I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching. If you can like and subscribe, that'd be great. Really help my channel, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.